Police have begun its 2024-2025 recruitment process, also raising the age limit for new trainees to the age of 35. 10,000 new recruits going to be trained as men and women in blue. So who is the ideal candidate and how important is this increasing of the age limit? There's quite a lot of talk about it, so let's get the thoughts of criminologist Kholofelo Rakubu making time for us this morning. Kholofelo, good to have you back on ENCA. Been a while since you and I chatted. If I cough in your ear, please forgive me, battling a little bit of flu, so forgive me if I do cough in your ear. I want to talk about this age limit, though. There seems to be quite a lot of reaction to the increasing of the age limit. I wouldn't have thought 35 years of age is particularly old, but then again, I'm not a criminal expert.
The age issue, it's not important at this stage. Why am I saying so? Because the SAPS has not enhanced the traditional pipeline. If you look into the 10,000 that they're saying they're looking for, they don't even consider, because we feel as academics that preference should be given to graduates to attract greater volume of qualified candidates. Why don't you give priority to criminal justice graduates, those that have already indicated interest and passion? Of those 10,000 recruits, we are bound to receive 90% of those that are going to have a culture shock in the system, because it's people that are responding to the call due to socioeconomic condition, unemployment. For example, imagine the Department of Health saying they are looking for a pharmacist, but saying everybody can apply. That is what the SAPS is doing. And later complain of what? Low morale, interest, and corruption. So why don't you liaise with universities? Because we know in South Africa, all, if not all universities have criminal justice programs with students that are in the system, with many that have graduated. What is it that the police or South African Police Service is going to lose if this 10,000 can be dedicated to unemployed graduates, and further liaise constantly with universities, because their policing, the recruitment is in prolonged crisis. Because we hear of nepotism, we hear of political infiltration, we hear of favoritism, sexism, and so forth. So liaise with universities so that you have dedicated and a force, a police officer that studied, that knew and understood what lies ahead. You don't want to bring people in the system that will later resign because they are looking for something else. That is not their passion. That is why research even tells us of a police officer getting angry because they're receiving a call. Now you realize that individual was not meant to be in the system. Not everybody can be a police officer. So give priority to students or graduates that spent 3 or 4 years or even more. So imagine as a policing graduate or criminal justice graduate sitting at home seeing a matriculant in the system and not even being considered. So this now causes so much confusion and frustration, and hence communities or people lose interest in the police, because now there's it's so disproportionate to the communities they serve. As parents, we expect that our children, graduates that studied, we paid money for them to study criminal justice, to be considered in this regard, not to see others who've been rumoring around the communities not doing anything, or those.
So on these criminal justice graduates, Prof, because this is why I'm so glad I'm talking to you, because I knew there was going to be a number of layers to this issue. So these criminal justice graduates, these police graduates, are they not immediately forming part of this 10,000 recruits between the ages of 18 and 35? And while you answer that, why do you think they're not being considered? Where's the problem there? Where's the miscommunication? Why aren't they being spoken to? I'm getting a sense from what you're saying, Prof, that this seems to be from the SAPS. It's a case of quantity, not quality. Would that be fair?
Yeah, that is a case of quantity, not quality. I'm telling you, a graduate will be queuing with a matriculant to get this position. And if there was alignment, the police would understand that the very same graduate used South African taxpayers' money to go to study. There would be alignment between the Kikele's practices and Blatant Zimande's investment. So there seems to be a gap. It's as if this graduate studied somewhere else and they shouldn't serve the community that took them to school. So this 10,000, it would have been better if there's a system or practice in which SAPS now liaises with what? University of South Africa, China University of Technology or Venda or University of Limpopo or Free State to check and tap into the pool. How many graduates do you have under the age of 35, right? And there should be an alignment that a policing graduate automatically is prepared to go to the training. What is it that they are providing there that universities have not been providing for 4 years or 3 years, or colleges have not been providing for 4 years or 3 years? That is why we have police officers that cannot even take statements, because this individual, due to socioeconomic conditions, spent approximately 10 years at home. Now he has to start writing when he's at a police station. So it's going to take time, and hence they get so frustrated when they have to take statements. Now, a graduate that is fresh from writing assignments will clearly write a thorough statement that will lead to right convictions, because the amount of cases that are unresolved in other areas are due to what? Statements taking. So can the police or SAPS listen to us on this one? This 10,000, you've got nothing to lose. If now you invest solely, we don't have anything against unemployed graduate or those that did not go to varsity. There should be other channels to accommodate them. But at the moment, we are saying graduate first.
Graduates first. That's exactly why I wanted to speak to the good prof this morning. Kholofelo, it's always good to get your thoughts on this. I was very glad to see that we were going to be talking about this particular issue, because once you start unpacking actually what is going on with this 18 to 35 year age limit for new recruits being called up within the SAPS structures, as we were saying, it's very much a case of its quantity over quality at the moment. And as you were hearing from Professor Kholofelo Rakubu, there are a lot of very, very well qualified graduates in criminal justice and also police graduates that should be part of this particular system in South Africa that are simply being ignored. So that is why I wanted to hear from the good prof to now take that story forward and get the police on and get a response from them about how they are going to try and use those graduates that are there. They're qualified, they paid money to receive higher education in this. Why aren't they being used in this process? Maybe